Good morning. Morning. All right. Continuation patterns. Maybe, maybe. See, things are jiggling around here a little bit. Hold on. Charts. All right. So the first leg of the news came out, and then tomorrow, I guess everybody will, I'm assuming, will wait for that news to make a substantial move. Yesterday didn't do much of anything. It looked like it was going to go up. The futures, they were up. Couldn't, hit this resistance area. Things wiggling around here. They come up overnight. So we're building a trading range, right? Support, resistance, pivot highs, pivot lows. Maybe it just stays within there today and waiting for tomorrow's news. So after, we'll just have to see how this sets up because look, if it clears below this low, this one here, you just got to go with the downside. I don't think that's going to happen today. If it should be able to get up above yesterday's high, maybe it gets a little higher, you know, happening intraday ahead of the news tomorrow, assuming no other news is driving it. You know, I would look for some kind of topping pattern like what happened yesterday afternoon and then it fell again. But, right now, just looking at the S&P futures, we just don't have a pattern. We have a bias that it'll go lower, but we don't have a pattern to trade that yet. So we'll do whatever sets up intraday. But it is what it is for the moment. Uh, so the Qs came down pretty darn hard, and they didn't break the prior low to the greater than 100% retracement. And similarly, we got a trading range, going on here. And I suspect until proven otherwise, it's going to stay like that. So wiggling around, you see the 5-minute chart, initial dip down, overlapping bars. This was more of a controlled ascent up there and then a little acceleration. Right? And so again, no patterns here. Well, other than to define what's going on here, a trading range. If it can clear here, maybe we get some kind of a surprise move, up toward the 50. But if it stays in this range, it's what I call just playing ping pong, so to speak. It comes down here, look for longs, while up here, look for confirming patterns on a smaller time frame that it's going to roll over. Right now, it's just wiggling around a whole bunch. I don't know what's up with this. I think it's something with e-signal. I don't know. That just doesn't look normal to me. And I know it's not normal. So I don't know why that's looking like that. Um, Let me just change to this for a second. Usually when you use the continuous contract, yeah, that one's messed up too. Mhm. Okay. So this is the best looking one. It's showing relative weakness. We can see on the 65-minute chart the trading range that's going on. It's in the bottom part of the trading range. And so again, if it breaks below here, right, it's created a resistance area. This is an example of creating resistance after a big momentum move. So, as prices accelerate to the downside, and you might say, okay, that's bearish. Uh, I think it'll go lower. So we get 1, 2, 3 patterns. And so 1, 2, 3 patterns, the 2-day, on the daily chart creates a resistance area or a place where you can define, at least in the short term, that shouldn't trade above. And so we, take the short, and we always give it a little more stop than the top of that move. But if you're familiar with what we call a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really the money pattern because it's already had a little bit of a shakeout. So when we look at YM, and you see, I'm kind of putting those arrows there, you get the gist of it, the little breakout failure. So it goes sideways at resistance. It breaks out. It looks like it's going to go lower, and it gets slammed down. That's what we sometimes Dan and I say, "Oh, there's a tell." Well, that's a tell that sellers are aggressive, and even on the attempt to go higher, where you would assume if you want to get short or you are caught long and you want to get out at a higher price, say like this minor resistance area, and sellers come in early, that's a tell. That means that they're really nervous and they're not waiting to get what could be the optimal entry point, and then this communicates that okay, those that are waiting on the offer to sell, here maybe even higher, they see they're not getting filled, and they all start hitting the bid, and it drives it down. And so the uncertainty as to, okay, it's down a whole bunch, right? We say that, these patterns are pictures of beliefs created with money. And that's in essence what I'm explaining to you here. The aggressive sellers, and then uncertainty about what? Well, it's down a whole bunch. You got news coming, earnings of whatever companies, that could move the market. So there's some buyers down here are short covering, and now it's just wiggling around. So what to look for now is like this kind of price action, right? At going sideways at a resistance area, this going sideways there, it made sense. Hey, this can go up. And so I wouldn't have faulted. I would have thought if I was looking at that, yeah, go long for a short-term trade going higher, you know. And then so now it's down here, and we look for, similar price action, except being bearish, where it comes down here, and rather than bounce, it stays down there. And that's the kind of setup you want to look for shorting, whether it's on this time frame or daily time frame or any time frame. Okay. So this would be the better continuation pattern. All right. Similar to what I'm talking about, right? Big move down. It's at support, and it ain't going up. So look at the way this came down. And even when interest rates are up a little bit, you can see the green here, but they got killed. And so that's not good here. I don't know why this isn't filling in, but in any event, this, you see, has room to fall also, if that's in the cards today or tomorrow, whatever it's going to be. Let's look at so you see the topping tail bar, sellers came in, knocked it back down, and, it's just trading inside the little range there. So everybody's in waiting mode. All right. I'll just take a peek here at these mid caps, see what they're doing. Similarly, they're just hanging there at the lows. Technology, big nasty drop, up and down, crazy price action. Semiconductors, still showing a little bit of relative strength here. NVIDIA, it's still the nasty drop, minor resistance, no pattern here to be trading as of yet. So it's going to take a little time for things to, maybe after tomorrow. This looks good. It's up here a little bit, but what we've been talking about, coming down to a reference point. Here's an unfilled gap. It's not going up. This is a continuation pattern. Right, short onto the lows. Maybe it's say sideways to tomorrow, and we'll see what the news is. But move back down to unfilled gap or down here, Okay. Um, Interest rates. Amazing, right? It's surprising, the topping pattern, the break, the move up, and interest rates going down. You know, I jokingly said in the advisory letter, and maybe during one of these pre-market reviews, Trump basically in a sense, demanding, the way he talks, um, the interest rates have to go down, right? And so, I said, well, he can say whatever he wants. It doesn't mean the market's going to follow his orders, you know. But the techno-economic things that are unfolding here, market going down, money is moving into buying bonds, and of course, interest rates go down, and so they look certainly like they're heading down here. And this was, a couple of weeks ago, the measured move that was in development mode, and it certainly looks like they're going to come down here. Crude oil, a little stabilization here. Always look to the left, and bouncing off of that next pivot, still no significant stabilization. It tried to hold here and it fell. So oil going down, interest rates going down, stock market going down, and even, Bitcoin broke down under these lows here. So money's evaporating in a sense. Those longs are seeing, these price patterns breaking down. So money, in a sense, the market goes down, money begins to evaporate. All right. Transports, we'll get to SPX, on support here. Spiders, just a little drop. They're coming back up again. Inside day. And as I said, I think likely to jiggle around here today. I don't think there's anything of significance coming out this afternoon. I think one of these people are talking, Fed people talking. That's out. Yeah. Some Fed guy talking at 10 o'clock, pending home sales. So that'll be interesting, pending home sales and the home builders, what that looks like with interest rates having moved down like they have. Okay. There's another guy talking at 11:45, and then there's a bond auction, which that's at 12 o'clock at lunchtime. So maybe things move at lunchtime. All right. All right. So where are we at here? Little yesterday's high area. This is what I had before I started talking. Yesterday said the downside was a no-brainer. Never touched the upside either. And let me just check this. 55. Yeah. And see, it's right in the unfilled gap. So it's got to go through yesterday's low. It's got to go through the prior day's low. It's got to drop. So if you just did this blindly, if you got the stomach for it, like yesterday, whatever dropping, they rarely touch it. If they touch it, it's going to hurt. But a little common sense, if we get some dip and you get, say, 58.50, it becomes more of a no-brainer. But look, it's a situation like this where it's got to go through these levels to get to your strike. Yeah, there's a void, but anything's possible. But look, if it was to go down there, going from here, which is where it's at based on SPY, and it travels all the way down here, it's going to bounce. That's my belief anyway, because of the unfilled gap. So, you trade it accordingly. Is it going to go up to the top today? That might have come down a little bit. You can check. Ain't going up there either. 55. So with these things move a lot, as you know. So, I mean, as of right now, it's 55. So you got to pick your level. You don't have to be too exact with these. It's not like uh SPY where you need big moves. These things you can get so far away. Um, but if you want to get closer, you know, say like here, if the market was to rally up to this area and you get a breakout failure, you know, this could be higher. And so that's what to be looking for intraday. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, I went through earnings, so I deleted a bunch of them, but there's still a lot of interesting gap trades, just like yesterday.
95, baby.
His wife 63, she died too in the dock.
Greg, your mic?
I was saying Gene Hackman died.
Yeah, I heard that this morning. Yeah, and his wife too. Yeah, it's weird.
He was good.
All right, we picked up more activity in the put spreads on the turn. Had a lot of these fluid bars down, reversal and support, so no brainer setups. Crowd alarm went off. We have a put spread that expires tomorrow. I guess taking the stop under this 15-minute base. Net alarm did not trigger yesterday, but it's gapping over it. So I will probably say 5-minute high as long as the market's not falling. And then the put spread also. Deck, we have a put spread. I had an up alarm go off. I tightened the stop. Trillio. Another one down a lot, multi-bar turn. So that's gapping over. And so I said on the put spread, that's a go if we get filled. And that's a directional also. Actually, I like, this is a 4-bar turn. Let me go ahead and post this as a 5-minute high. Stop. What's today? Thursday. Stop Tuesday's low, which is the week's low. 1 second. Twilio. All right, that's good to go. LEU was posted because, look how many of these are. And it's amazing when the markets do their certain gyrations, certain times, whether it's this, a buy setup on support, whether it's a 1, 2, 3, whether it's whatever. We get so many easy pickings. So here's another one, gapping over the entry. Let me say lose on pullback. So this this was a long over yesterday's high, but you see gapping over it. Like I said, let's watch a pullback here. Maybe I'll change it to 5-minute high. I don't know. And ALGT, I just posted in our Telegram. We're already in it. This 1, 2, 3 right here. But look, now it's a second 1, 2, 3 with a void. So I sent a little screenshot of that. And Greg, yeah, if you can post it to social media, I was struggling with that. But that's and I even said in the chart lesson, I said this will even be more better if it triggers with the markets gapping up. Now I know they since retraced, but I also posted cues we did a nice 0 DTE yesterday, and with the gap up here, it's holding 80% of that retracement. So this one's of the 4 horsemen, the no-brainer, the strongest. So that is another 0 DTE or watch for me. All right, that's it on those. Let's go to earnings. I have a bunch of them here that I will be watching. NVIDIA was down last night. Now it's up a little bit. They blew out earnings as expected, but they didn't wow them. So in terms of a new trade, maybe Condor. maybe Condor for tomorrow, expiration. MQ here. 30-minute high. A bullish gap from a bottoming pattern. Remember MT live yesterday, bar by bar analysis? Oh, my mic is off. So this is a shock bar. Gapping over a red bar in a nasty downtrend. So if it can hold the gap, 30-minute high, I like that a lot. IONQ gapping down $2. Still looks lower. Cream. And I would like this. Now, you've heard me say a couple times this week, things that are gapping down, but they're in the middle of no man's land. I want them to continue going lower to get the rubber band snapped more. 188, big old bullish gap, but no pattern. But check the sector of snow. So snow, check if someone wants to do that. We always have teamwork at the open. I can't do it all, but check the cousins of snow. T-Doc here. Man, that's a nasty, one of our concepts is retracement, right? So from this move to here, got climactic, kind of an M top with a new high plus. And now it's a bearish retracement on the downside. But, 30-minute high, maybe a 1DT Pittsburgh. AI. Wow. Greg, remember we were considering position right here. And I never triggered it. This is, I think the one Musk had a buyout offer. But it's, no pattern, but I'll watch it. eBay getting whacked. Down a lot, but no pattern. AAOI. This is a beautiful continuation breakdown under maybe 30-minute low. Let's see our Golf. It's not clean at all, but possible exhaustion gap for 1DT here on put spread 41. That is a nasty gap. I mean, look at all those bulls that ran this thing up into earnings. And now look at my cursor. It's all the way back down here to the 1, 2, 3 breakout. And every bull holding in there is now holding a losing position. CRH, no pattern. Beyond Meat, piece of dog meat is what they should. You know what? Somebody should maybe suggest to them to change their company name to Dog Meat instead of Beyond Meat. I don't know. I'll watch it. Maybe it'll bounce, but it looks bad all time frames. LZ gapping up. Maybe 30-minute high. We'll see. Kurgi, no prints, no pattern. Mankind gapped up, coming in, no interest. Gapping up, 30-minute high. LCBR. Long watch. Postage. 55. Another example. Big nasty gap. But I would like it to sell off another $5 down to 50. Get it deeper. And the rubber band to snap. KTOS. It's at the 200 gapping down. I have an alarm at 25.20 to see if it can negate the gap down, and if so, then 30-minute high. ATEC. I also put an alarm at 11 to see if it can negate this little gap down. EXE. I don't see any prints, but 30-minute low. Looks like a continuation breakdown. This no pattern. Synapse. Put spread watch. Gap and a downtrend. Adtran bullish gap. Let's watch it on a pullback. Nothing to do now. Fandom, that's a nasty gap. I'll throw it in my excessive gap category to see if buyers want to step up. AMBA 82 bullish gap, but no pattern. I'll watch a pullback, put spread, A alpha, ugly gap. Now this, just since we educate here too, if this were to gap up over the week's high, then I would say buy 30-minute high as a double bottom, new low plus. But look, that's just a what if. Reality is now it's down here to 128. I mean, that's bearish, but we'll come back to it. Cert 1325. Looks higher, but I have enough to watch. Sedger 2210. Now see, this gap is not as big, so I think the reward to risk is better over a 30-minute high if it doesn't run too much. SUI, we'll see what it does. If it can go sideways a couple bars, then we'd get a bull rectangle. It's a breakout weekly, little buy setup, bottoming pattern monthly. For that looks good. Alex, you got a condo there, I think. Alex told me, or Sam told me you bought a condo there. Stinker. Root. Bullish gap, but too big. Gotta watch it on pullback. APR. So Don, you know me. Bigger the gap, the better. A gap and crap setup. 30-minute low. Call spread. EDR alarm. Nah, nothing there. Said G, we shorted a put spread yesterday. Might have a little alarm go off. CHRD, CHRD. Let's reset the alarm on said G to 18. We have 17 and a half puts for tomorrow. CHRD. CHRD bottoming pattern. Nice gap on the 15. That's 30-minute high idea. Let me check put spread also. And then I'll look at TWI. CHRD. Spreads ridiculous. 15 by 440. TWI, I'm not crazy about that myself, unless it, I need it to stabilize for me. Airbnb. Hey, here you go, Airbnb triggering. I know I gave it as a put spread. I forget if I gave it as a directional. Let me check. Yep, I did. I said by a half lot. Yep. Half lot over 14.16. Other half. How about 30-minute high? ATEC. Let's do over 10 minutes. ATC. ATC. Nah, no interest. TNT. Yeah, let me look at that, Steven. FTNT. Yeah, I just don't like that square top. GDRX. Needs to stabilize, but I'll put it on the list. Qs 511. Yeah, let's do it over the let's I we're at resistance, Steve, and things are still sputtering, so it's just my confidence level. I'm not quite sure, but if it takes out the day's high, yes. And then, as you know, it'll depend on what the juice is at that time. So, all right. Diamond's actually a nice recovery from their pre-market dive. IWM still the weakest. Spiders and Qs, they're slowly trying to get their sea legs back, their confidence. All right, Qs. I'm looking at the 511, 497 right now is 41. See, I go farther out, Steve, just to only pay a penny. So let's stalk this. Actually, you know what? I'll give it over the high. Actually, I'm sure. All right, yeah, there's more confidence. All right, it's not 41 cents anymore, it's 36. I see how quick that went down. But let's see if it'll bobble around here and get filled. Diamonds, yeah, there's no pattern. IWM weak. Spiders. Qs are the best again. Qs are the best, like yesterday.
Did you consider a call spread up above current prices to see maybe it fails at these highs?
Um, no, I didn't. But yeah, it does concern me that the Qs are up a lot and at resistance. But you could always leg into a contour and trade both sides.
Sure, I think you're far enough away on the put side, but odds are it's going to stall here. There's no bearish pattern for the moment as to today's price action, but you can see the topping tail that's forming.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, the 41 came back. Yeah, let me look at that. So we sold that for 41, so we go out of the money. And that would be the 523s. Right.
I would suggest going above 60-40, Don, and go wider. Then you're above Monday's high. Until proven otherwise, I think it's just going to be an inside day. But better to be safer. The perception with wider spreads between the strikes is not safer, but with SPX, your 0 DTE, it's a probability of getting there. It's always a probability of getting there with a credit spread, but with stocks and SPY and Qs, most times you're not going to get the premium to get far enough away. Consider what I showed. Look, day to day, anything can change, right? So we always gotta be like, anything can happen. We gotta form some kind of an opinion. Remember the chart pre-market? I showed you the breakout failure on YM. That bearishness isn't going away until something happens. And so things are bouncing in a short-term bear market. Let's just put it that way. Sellers have proven they're in control.
All right, so say I said wait 10 minutes on this, so that worked. By waiting. Net. Let's hold off with the market coming in. Same with Lou. Let's hold off on both of these. I'll watch them both. I like the way you think. Hey, STR had a short watch. My alarm just went off. You got a big old topping too. Oh, yeah, ALGT. Nice. Greg, you get that one on social media?
What then?
You get ALGT on social media?
Sure did. I gave you a video to show you
You think I'm
the
gonna watch video
process.
in the first hour? I am slammed.
Well, when you get around to it, shit. We'll
Right.
see. There's
I'm
no
just
problem.
saying it was perfect timing, the pattern, and as I said, if it triggers. The first third target.
Yeah, it's almost $1. Market makers are nervous. Don't blame them. And well,
Wow.
they're looking for idiots. That's when it was moving up. A little short covering. Let's screw them.
Diamonds at the high.
Yeah.
Not pattern though. Charlie Michael arm. Ah, this was earnings. I had as a 1, 2, 3, but nah, that bar's too big. All right, B&L, slow and steady. Look at this beautiful move. 1658. Let's still have in the strength here. It's just a tad short of the target, but it's up a lot of bars at the 200. L. It's a bull rectangle, obviously. It's just, I'm surely not doing it with the market like this, and it's kind of up, down, and still far from the 20. Kind of has the look like a fail. I kind of like D better, Alex. Closer to support, a base, the 20, void. Weaker, of course, but it's, they're different setups. And it's still posting. All right, deck. Looks like we're stopping out break even. 139, 135. Yep. So deck is gone. And so you remember I was saying it's we're out break even, but I was saying that is not a potent reversal. We were just trading it as a Climo and hoping it would hold for 2 days. But we're out break even, it's fine. Yeah, well, yeah, because it fell. So I would obviously hold off, Brand. I wouldn't do it. No, totally hold off. Now the 5 minutes are nasty on top with a deep retracement. So no, no, nothing. Sidelines. All right, crowd. I already took care of. GoDaddy had break even stop, but that should be fine. Said G. Let's see what 17 and a half, 16. All right, so that's against us. It's 33 right now. So that was, and see this one also. See, I did not give this as a buy setup directional because I did not trust the turn. Remember, I kept saying I wanted a bottoming tail before doing that. Yeah, I wonder if there's any, talks about tariffs here going on. That's an ugly reversal.
March, I just came across whatever, it's on schedule, March 4th, I think it said.
Well, and he's blabbing about going after Europe again. We're still in our mags puts. Let me go through all opens. ALGT we know about. BNL I just looked at. CMCL is a little core long. It's nothing to do. Mags I just looked at. Emitter, another core long hanging in like a tank. Stop center of the WRB. PAC we did yesterday. It's, I'm just holding. It's not going anywhere with the market coming in. Papa Bravo, we're short. Not liking the relative strength right here. PLD, we're long. Let's see, do we have half or full? We have full. We're right at about break even right now. And then TTD disaster and Airbnb just gave a half lot, which is not going anywhere with the market. All right, that's it. So we have a manageable inventory. We got like 10 instead of 25. Let me go through these earnings. Yeah, I said yesterday, little bull flag. So that was a gap and go. But ran too much. RY getting shellacked. Canada. No pattern. This actually was going to be a breakdown if it opened flat, but ONC, no pattern. Edgar, no pattern except over the highs. Extended. Damaged. Ah, look at cruise ship gave it up. Always look at the cousins, RCL, no pattern, CCL, bear flag, CCL. Bear flag, 1, 2, 3 weekly. I'm gonna put that on the list. That's a nasty breakout failure. That's an igniting gap. That'd be a 1 DTE put spread. GI 245. There's no weeklies. Postage getting whacked. That's the one I said I wanted it to sell off to 50. KTOS, I said it was gapping down. Look, it did well, it didn't do exactly what I said. What I said was, let's see if it can negate the gap, and then it'll be a bullish turn. All right, crowd stopping out. Let's see if it's at a break even or profit, 370, 365. No, it's at a profit, 30 cents. GoDaddy low alarms.